Hey guys, welcome to the channel. It's Adam with ND72. So today we're back with my E55 Mercedes. So it is pretty hot here in Florida. It is roughly like 97 degrees out right now, and I'm planning to go FL2K with my E55. Hopefully. If not, then I bring my SLK as a backup, but I'm entered in a 10.5 class, so the E55 should have plenty of power to do it. And now, since I did all those traction mods, should have plenty of traction to do it. My only concern now is heat management. So, as some of you remember, I have a 92mm throttle body from VRP with the billet snout. I have a 77mm fixed pulley, and I got a 168 way down there crank pulley and a belt wrap kit. Now, that gives me roughly 16 PSI of boost, which is cool and all, but I'm having a little bit of heat issues. So, I have a secondary heat exchanger there. I have my primary one from FabTech, and then here in my trunk, I have my little third one, which I don't really think this is doing too much, all honestly. And then I got my 7-gallon ice tank. So that's basically all my cooling mods. So what we're going to be testing today is seeing how efficient this setup is with some data. I'm going to be using my thermal gun to check the water temp and the engine temp and see how efficient it is in this 97 degree temperature. We're going to be traveling to Mexico, and because FL2K is in about 2 weeks, the temp is not going to drop that much. So I got to make sure the car will perform well with this temp. If not, then I will be taking the SLK, because the SLK can hoplet, and that cooling system is far more superior than this one, and this one runs 22 PSI boost. So we're going to go take it out, and we're going to do a 2 test. We're going to do a test where I already fired up and ran a little bit, get the oil hot, and we're going to go take it for 1 or 2 test pulls, see what the air intake temps are. Hopefully they don't go too high. If I see it hitting 180, I'm going to pull out of the pool. And then we're going to try it with a buttload of ice. So we're going to hope that we can do a scenario where when I go to the track, I just pack the ice, and I want to count how many bags I need to fully get that down. So we're going to see how much the ice actually drops my air intake temps from basically we're going to do a pool with basically no ice, let it cool down for a while, do a pool with some ice and see how much it does. So I'm curious to see what it does, and hopefully it'll drop the temps enough where I feel comfortable racing it in this hot of weather. So let's get to it. So we got the car running and all that. It's been running for a little bit. So this water should be pretty cold. So it's at 90 degree temperature right there. So that's about 7 or 8 below ambient. So not too bad. So we'll measure it after we do the pool and see what it goes up to. All right, so we're here in Mexico. It's about 92 degrees out. We got our dash command on my little dongle, so the data will be a little bit delayed, but I can still record it. So right now we're starting at 97, which is like 5 above. We hit the record, and then we're gonna do a few 20 pulls and see what happens. The cars are all warmed up from water and oil and all that stuff, so we're good there. We'll do a quick 20 pull and see what it hits. So I saw well above 180 there, so we're pulling back. We're gonna do one more, so we'll stop that data. We'll do one more pull, going back the opposite way, and look at everything again. And then we'll kind of go over the data real quick. So we're literally doing back-to-back pulls. Give a little room here in Mexico. So we're starting to log data. Same thing, 20 pool, and we're already at 102, so we're starting at a higher doing this second pool. Pulling out. So yeah, it climbs up to like 170, 180. So let's pull in, kind of look over the data and see where we're at, but that was definitely really hot, and I'm not a fan of that heat. So we're gonna pull it in, let the car cool down, and then add some ice and go over some data. Okay, so we just got back from doing the 2 pulls. Let's see what this water temp is. All right, so the water temp after the 2 pulls, it is now 100. So now we're at 100, which doesn't feel too hot. We didn't run it for too long, just did 2 pulls. Now let's kind of go look at the engine. And as you can see, it is cooking out here. like 120s, 125s, 132s, 130. All right, so to help drop my temp while I wait, I got my little fan over here. We're gonna close the hood so it's in the shade. And then I got it on position 2. So that will actually, don't mind all my debris. That will actually be pushing fluid through the supercharger and everything. And then this fan should be dropping its temp. That was the whole point of this system. So, oh wow, you already feel how boiling the water is coming out. So that should all drop. This is kind of in the shade just from how the trunk is. And the air actually gets pushed out through a little hole down there. So we'll let it sit for like 30 minutes while I go over the data. And then we'll go do another pool with all my ice over there. Don't mind my debris. Oh, and if anyone wants these, hit me up. They're for sale. These are 19-inch chromes, 9.5 by 8.5. They came off my SL because I threw some new rims on there. But yeah, should have plenty of ice to drop that temp. All right, so we let everything sit for like 30 minutes. It's still boiling hot because it's pumping through all that hot water. So we're gonna start adding some ice. And just remember, this is a 7-gallon tank. Ooh, probably should have broke this up a little bit. So we'll see how much ice will actually go in here and probably melt pretty quickly. But 30 minutes should be roughly the same time as when you're at the track. Get in there. And word of ice, break up your ice. All right, after dumping half the water out, one bag, it dropped it all the way down. Granted, it melted to like 71. So we're gonna let this run through until I feel the top part of the water pretty cold, which I kind of do. So we'll drop some more of this water and then just keep adding ice after ice. I got one bag down. We'll see how many we'll shove in there. All right, so this is the third bag. I can't even get all the third bag in there, but I'm letting the pump run to kind of help melt and push it around. But I'm just feeling this is like an AC unit over here right now. This is 52 degrees. Pumping like this area out. So you got to remember, this is going after it goes through the whole supercharger system and then does here. So that's 52 right there. So I'm wondering how cold this water will be once I let it melt more and actually like circulate through the supercharger, and then I'll add the rest of this bag and we'll go for a fun run. So also I noticed, look at all the condensation on my secondary. So it is 44 on my secondary, 52 on one side. Where was the 44? Oh, maybe the 44 was right at the line. Yeah, so we're going to get the rest of the ice all packed in there, and then we'll go take it for a test drive. We still got my teeny little fan cooling all this down. That supercharger is probably still hot, yeah, until I like fire it up and all that stuff, but that's still in the 90s, just because I wasn't really letting anything except that sit on the front. But not bad. All right, one last test before we go. This is the line going out to everything. 35 degrees. And it is still in the well over 90, so we're going to shut this, start getting all the car ready to go. So let that keep pumping. We'll probably drop a degree or two just because it's going to melt a little bit. But this is basically simulating when I go to the track. All right, so we're back out here in Mexico. It's 96 degrees out, so it's a little bit hotter than when we started doing the other one. But we drove around, so now our temps are going like 46, 48. So it definitely warmed up a little bit. We're going to try to do a nice little fun pool here in Mexico, and hopefully everything goes well. All right, so we're gonna do the first little pool, little 20 pool. That felt a lot better. We'll have to look over the data and see. We'll turn around and do one more little pool so we got some heat in it. And the recovery is not bad, pretty good. Let's see if it will recover all the way down. I don't think it will though. I mean, we're doing 84, so we're still going below 82, 90. Yeah, so it's dropping. It's still dropping below 77. So we'll do another pool over here, 75. This one's probably not going to be good as the other one, but we'll see. That felt a lot faster. I didn't see it really go above like 150-ish. So we'll pull in, we'll check it with the thermostat and check all of our data. All right, so we just got all the way back after doing the pools, and we are at now, can you see it? 70 degrees. It keeps dropping the more I drive a little bit, and outside it is 91. So we look at 67, so there must still be ice there because it's dropping it well below 64, keeps dropping it. So let's actually get our gun out and see what everything is. See if I even got any more ice left. So I think all this water is just from me. So over here on the cooler, we are at in the 70s. Let's see what this ice box is. All right, I'm gonna have to put the camera down. Oh yeah, we still even got ice in there. So our water is still at 44. So I think if I didn't do those pulls back to back, like let it drive around, it would have dropped the temp of this water, because that water is still pretty cold. So that's really good. Now we'll just have to check the data, if I could get this stupid cap back on, and see what we're at. Also, I want to check like temp on the motor. I'm pretty sure this is going to be almost useless data, but we'll just see. Yeah, so after letting it sit and drive around, you're still pretty high. Alright, so now we're going to go over the data logger a little bit and kind of go over some data. So here's from the first pull with no ice. And then we'll analyze it. I got all in this fun paper behind us. Let's see what we're doing with. Alright, we're driving. Boop, boop. The air intake is starting. We're going 97. We do the pull. It shoots up. Oh, let's get out of the acceleration. Let's do boost. Yep, so you can see I'm like 14, 15, 16 PSI of boost. That shoots up. Now we're at the cool down stage. So that one's pretty bad. Alright, exit. Let's go to the next one. This is the second pool. Log files, E55. Should be the second pool. Play. Go to dashboard, PSI. Nope, didn't do it right. Okay. Log files. Bear with me, guys. We're doing this all real time. Play. Dashboard. Still not doing it. Log files. Mercedes. Second play. Dashboard. There we go. Now we got it. Sorry about that. Alright, so hit play. Hit play. Alright, everything will load up. As you can see now, we're starting a little bit higher up at like 102. Come on, I'm going to hit it eventually. And now I go wide open throttle. We see we're like 15 PSI, 16 PSI. It varies. 187. We're going. And now we're turning it around. So, and then this one will be, unfortunately, I didn't hit the data logger properly on the last ones. So let's see what we actually got on here. If not, I analyzed it already with my camera. So this should be the second pull with ice. But I did already actually look through all the data on my camera, so that's what we're going to analyze after. So this is definitely a second one where you started at 59. And then you floor it. Shoots up, same about PSI. But if you look at the air intake temps, we are way lower. Alright, now let's go over the paperwork. So, here's the actual data that I kind of analyzed. So, first pull with no ice. 92 degrees out, no ice. We started the pull at 97, which is like 5 degrees above ambient. And then at 88 miles an hour, we're at 183. That is a danger zone. That is not good at all. So I kind of like pulled out at that point. Then we do a second pull, which is back to back. Now we're starting at 102. So this is where I start seeing things go wrong. At 38 miles an hour, we were at 124. That's pretty effing high. At 86 miles an hour, we're at 186. Pretty effing high. And then we pulled over, came back to the house from Mexico. The water in the tank was 100 degrees. Which is not really that good, but it's showing that the recovery is cooling it down. Because that's just 8 degrees above. Now, with ice, it is 97 out. So now we're like 5 degrees higher. So you could kind of like adjust it a little bit in your own head, but I kind of went data to data. So we started at 51 degrees. Now, in the tank originally was like 38, but I had to drive to a place, drive around. So yeah, the temp went up a little bit. I melted a lot of ice. We started with, once we did the pool, 47 miles an hour, we were at 99. So that is a huge difference. That's 10 miles an hour more, and we were at like 25 degrees less, and we started at a higher temp outside. And then at 86 miles an hour, we're only at 148. Now I say only, does not mean that is super cold. That is still pretty high. But I am running stacked pulleys, a 168 and a 77 millimeter fixed pulley. So that is bound to happen. And then at 96, it was still at 148. So it didn't really climb that much. So even so, that is still roughly 20 degree, no wait, what was that? Not 20, 40 degree drop from no ice to ice on the first pool. So we go to the second pool, and it's roughly the same. We start a little bit higher, but as you saw in the video, if I didn't do the second pool, like literally I just did a pool, and then I turned right around and did another pool, if I would have waited a little bit, I probably would have dropped more temp, but I just hit it. So, and then when we got back, the water in the tank was 70 degrees. I think if I would have let it just run a little bit, it would have kept dropping, because as you saw, I still had ice in the tank. So, in looking over the data, the ice does help extremely, roughly 30, 40 degrees, just because you're starting so much lower and it helps as it's going. Just drop the temp. Now, I'm still not really comfortable with those high of air intake temps, so I do need to have to do something extreme. So yeah, if I go to the track and I do 3 bags of ice, maybe if I did 1 more bag or a 4th bag, or if the car was completely cold when I did it, maybe the temps would have dropped a little bit more. But I am running roughly 15 to 16 PSI boost. I have stacked pulleys, the 168 and the 77, and I don't really have anything crazy cooling. Like, my biggest thing in my mind is the intercooler, because it sits right at the V of the engine, and I'm just running like 5/8 lines, nothing crazy. It's not like a single pass intercooler. It really is just a factory intercooler. So I think that I'm still running a little bit high just for me being comfortable. Now, I can do a few things. I either could drop my boost, which would be less power, which is, that's just no fun. Who really wants to do that? Because I'm not running that crazy of a setup. I'm running a 77 and a 168. There's a lot of people who run like 200 cranks and like a 177. So I'm not running the most boost people do. But what I am going to do is make a big purchase. Well, a big purchase to me. I called up VTech and I said I want to order a few top mount intercoolers. So what I have coming to me is a few top mount intercoolers. I think it's like their version 3 or something like that from VTech. Now it does take a little bit to get here because it's coming from Georgia. But he gave me the killer deal on it, so I'm going to try it out. I haven't seen anyone really with the VTech top mounts. I know a few people make top mount intercoolers, or top mount like intercooler setups. So the 3 companies I know that make them are VRP, I think it's DTK or DTM, no, it's DDK, and VTech. I haven't really seen too many people actually put data out there for it. So my setup should be here in 3 days. From me making this video, should be here in 3 days. So the outside temperature should be basically the same. Because the odds of Florida in the end of summer dropping down to like 40 degree temps is so unlikely. So right when I get my whole intercooler set up, I'm going to install it and go do test pools. So the data should be pretty easy to tell. We're going to try it the same way we just did it. With no ice and then with ice. From what I'm hoping that if the outside temperature is 92, I'm hoping I don't have that much of a spike. Because right now we're having a spike of, let's see, if it was 92 degrees out, we're shooting up to like 180, let's look at my paper, 186 degrees out. That's almost 100 degrees above your starting temp, which that is crazy for the setup I have. So I'm hoping even if these top mounts with no ice drop it down to like only 30 degrees above, that'd be good for me and I'd be happy with that. So we're hoping to do something cool. So if you guys want to see the upcoming videos of me getting my top mount intercoolers shipped to me, unbox them, look at them, hopefully they're cool, hopefully they're easy to install because I'm going to show that whole thing, then like the channel, throw a like down, throw a subscribe down, and just so you guys do know, I do have another M11 3K motor in my SL55. So if this top mount setup works, or if like DDK or VRP wants to like compare and see if they're better than the VTech setup, hit me up. Send me some free parts or a heavy discount. I will throw it on my SL55. And I will literally do high boost, or high boost to me, 15 PSI, all the same, and actually compare them. So if anyone knows VRP and they want to like see their top mount setup versus VTech or even the DDK stuff, hit me up, throw a comment down, hit them up, tell them to like find me and contact me. But until then, I'll catch you guys later. Remember, this is Adam from ND72, and hope you guys enjoy the videos, and hopefully you guys buy more Mercedes and modify them, and I'm hoping my videos help anyone out there. But catch you guys later. Lady versus Swiffer. Swiffer wins.